I'm a pretty good driver, I think, and in this race I had to push to the absolute limit to make sure I could try and have a chance at winning the race. Which I need to do because I'm a really competitive guy, and if I don't win this race, I'm gonna probably cry myself to sleep tonight. Now, of course, all good race car drivers start out the session by absolutely butchering quali.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
This meant that I wouldn't be able to capitalize on the head start, as we wouldn't be starting in pole position. Instead, we'd have to make up positions and try and keep up with the leader of the race. Now you can see right off the line, we get absolutely squeezed up onto the grass, but he leaves the gap open coming into the first corner, so I decided to go for the move down the inside, which eventually ends up causing the death of the second place driver. Now you can see on the replay that I'm actually completely on the inside, so I would count this as a big fan, not my fault. Now as we move on, we have some more pretty goofy moments from drivers at the back of the grid. What the f. Luckily for us though, this does not affect our race, and that means that we can keep on pushing to try and get closer to P1 in the race. And you can see a couple of laps later, the Williams esports car approaches some traffic, and this is where the chaos begins. I'm really trying to optimize the traffic and pushing it to the absolute limit, using the whole track on the exit of Piff Path, trying to gain as much time in the traffic as possible. And as we come up to this gaggle of cars, Matt right in front of us has a huge moment with some of these GT3 cars, getting extremely close to crashing out of the race. Now this allows us to gain a position and move into the lead of the race. Now one of the most important things for me in this situation is that I stay calm, because the race is far from over. We still haven't made our pit stops, so it's really important that I just stay focused and try and push it to the limit and keep Matt behind us, which is exactly what happens. I managed to stay calm and composed, putting in some good and consistent lap times, making sure that Matt doesn't get a chance to overtake. As we're coming up to some traffic, Matt decides to go in for the undercut, and this is where I need to put in the lap of my life.
No ifs, no buts, no maybes, no excuses. Yeah. Now's the time to prove what you've got.
So we managed to put in a pretty decent lap with a limited amount of traffic, and now it's time for us to cover off Matt and go in for our own pit stop. Now I believe our fuel consumption has been pretty similar to each other, which means that the stop time shouldn't be that different, but we never know. Matt comes around the final corner, we're exiting the pit exit, Matt comes around the first corner, and you can see we just about managed to get out in front of Matt, and the battle is still on for the win of the race. Now the race is far from over yet, but I'll take the chance to ask for a little favor. We're trying to get to 2,000 subs by the end of the year, so if you are enjoying this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button. It'll be greatly appreciated. Now moving on in the race, you can see even Matt is pushing to the limit, getting really close to hitting our rear bumper and ending off our race. However, this does not affect anything at all, because at this level I'm fully expecting him to be in control of his car. Now you can see we get up to some traffic and we're trying to just control the race, kind of just keep the gap at the same. You can see we're pushing to the absolute limits of the track, even going off track just to try and keep the gap at the same place so he can't get a chance to overtake us. Now at this point it's all or nothing, which means that near misses are basically inevitable. You can see the Williams esports car gets really close to having some contact with the GT back marker, and when we get up to some more traffic, he's kind of just following us through, making sure that he stays close to us so he might get a chance at an overtake later on. Just like ourselves, he's pushing to the absolute limit, even taking it off track to try and lap traffic a bit faster to make sure he stays in the all-important slipstream. But with us being out in front, eventually the traffic was gonna hit us hard, which is what it does here. You can see Matt gets a way better run on us. I'm absolutely hugging the inside white line, just forcing him to go to the outside if he wants to make a move, and that's what he does through Blanchimont. Goes to the outside, keeps it around the outside, and you can see on the exit of it, making a little bit of contact even, and this is where the battling of this race starts. As we're coming down towards the bus shop chicane, we're side by side into this corner. We're keeping it around the outside, just keeping our nose in there, and eventually we end out in front. Now Matt does something into the first corner that was very, very unexpected from my side. He goes for a move, goes for a lunge down the inside, and we managed to get him back with a switchback on the exit. And if you know Spa, you know what this means. Side by side, down through Eau Rouge and up through Radion, and on top of that, just throw an LMP2 car in there that we need to get around, and I get so close to hitting the wall on the exit of Radion. Now these are the sort of near misses I was talking about earlier, when both drivers are pushing to the limit and none of them are backing out. These are the sort of moments you get. We're not going to let him get away with it easily, and you can see we're right up his bumper, and coming down towards the last chicane, he just blocks us off for a brief moment, then goes defensive. So we go for the outside line into the last chicane, try to get it done, but eventually into turn 1 we'll have to settle in behind and wait till the end of the straight. Now the time is ticking. We're making a move at the end of the straight around the outside, but then this happens. I hope there's plus points for the sick drift, because this might have ended our chances of winning the race. However, it's not over yet. As you can see on the replay, it's complete netcode, but with 4 minutes left, I still push on because I still believe there is a chance. And as we come up to some traffic, you can see we're catching up quite a lot, getting right behind him with the last couple of laps to go. You can see we're absolutely sending it, trying to maximize the amount of time we gain back on him to see if we still have a chance at winning the race. But you can see as we come up to the final lap, we're right behind it, but we don't have a chance to overtake as there's traffic in the way, and at the end of the day we'll have to settle for P2 at the end of the race. Now, after a long and hard fought battle, I did of course wish that I won it, but it is what it is. If you enjoyed this video and you're wanting to get to this level yourself and become a pro sim racer, I believe that this video will help you along the way. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.